This was a class that was intended for people who had purchased former pro racing cars to be able to come and go club racing, the super touring class. And this car right here, Chip Herr's Audi, is a classic example of this. This is a car that ran in the Speed World Challenge Touring Car Series, still boasting that, that livery there on the car, a classic Audi look, carbon hood. This is an all-wheel drive car, second on the grid.
This is a neat one for me because we are talking about old pro race cars that are here. Well, I'm an old pro announcer, and I've announced a number of these drivers in some of those races. Johann Schwartz, of course, was running in World Challenge when you were, and Chip Herr, back in the glory days of World Challenge in the touring car class in its heyday, was an absolute monster in that very Audi. So this one's going to be a lot of fun. And then your front row on the outside, that beautiful Audi of Chip Herr, who is making his third runoff start, finished second last year, the number 18 out of Lititz, Pennsylvania, the Susquehanna region, the Warwick Autopark Carbotech Hoosier Audi A4. And here we go, 15 laps in the run for the gold in STU, Super Touring Under, and Johann Schwartz leads them up into the acceleration zone, and that is when, at some point in the acceleration zone, we will set this run for the national championship underway. And this one should be a beauty. There's your starter. Looking for it. We're green. 15 laps for Super Touring. A monster start from Mike Liller in that Dodge Neon for Mark here, trying to round everybody up. He had a great head of steam.
Yeah, that boost buggy out around the outside. He did the same thing last year in the wet and led that race up until about 30 seconds before the checkered was thrown early. But Herr, with a big all-wheel drive rotation, gets up underneath the inside of Joe Moser. That becomes the outside, and they're side-by-side for the lead. Herr maybe to the lead, but loses the back.
Too quick. He's trying to save it. He's gonna might be able to get that one going again, but for Chip, man, he was giving it everything. He's gonna try and hustle it back on track, but now that leaves Johann Schwartz, Moser, and Liller, your top three. Looks like Darren Treacle in that blue BMW right up there, and looks like Chip may have got away with it. He popped a mirror out. Look at this, big lunge, diving down to the inside of Moser here, and that's going to quickly become the outside, and at that point, smart move there as Lillard just decides, all right, I'm going to back off to live another day here. Look at Liller squaring up underneath, trying to see if he can't do something. Now, this is what caught out Chip Herr, and he's going to be careful this time. He's a lot more correct through that line, didn't run wide.
Is keeping the pressure on as more fuel dumping out of the CRX on that left rear corner, but Liller is going to be able to chug right up alongside as a little incident behind.
Yeah, it's the 155, the 165, I think, of Jose Nazario, and I didn't catch the number of the yellow car there. Looks like both of them might well be able to continue. You know, maybe one spun and the other just went in avoidance. And I'll tell you what, Moser got dropped there with these two cars up front. He's lost a big chunk of time all the way down that long back straight called Madison Avenue. There he is. Just to let everybody know, Chip Herr has worked his way up from last to 7th in that Audi. He is absolutely flying out there. The only guy who's been quicker than Chip has been Mark Liller up front once he got out in this nice clean air and is opening that margin up a little bit. But Chip, again, sets the fastest second sector by a bunch, and he is coming he's going to need some help because right now he's 10 seconds off the lead. But he is absolutely getting after you. Mosier a little wide down in 1.
I don't know about you, but I heard a lot of misfiring out of what sounded like a Porsche straight six just there. So I think that car has some just straight up engine issues. It sounds like it's missing pretty badly.
And once again, now Chip Herr up into the 6th spot as he continues to run a couple seconds a lap faster than everybody in front of him here. So the run for the gold in STU has taken on some interesting developments here. Tomo, while we were in the break, though, you were doing some quick math, and you think Chip Herr has a shot to maybe get to 3rd yet in this one.
Yeah, the fastest car on track is indeed the Audi of Chip Herr running in 6th, and he's not faster enough than the leaders to get to them, but he is faster enough than Johann Schwartz, Treacle, and Gerasi to get back towards the podium if he can repeat that lap time and they repeat their lap times, if that made sense.
Chip Herr, by the way, on that charge back, now up into 5th, and he's 14 seconds off the lead, but more importantly, he's, 8 seconds off of Treacle in that battle with Johann Schwartz for that podium spot. There's Chip, and look at him slinging that Audi around. He is a man on a mission.
Yeah, that thing has a dirt track setup on it, like we like to talk about, or a nice racing setup. It's still sideways. Herr, think back, he had the car pretty loose and lost the back end of it on the beginning of this race. He's going to be tired of driving through the field at the runoffs. He did it at the back to the front last year. He did it again this year.
Oh, and overshoot Lillard just pushed wide. Boy, that miss is getting worse and worse for Johann, just hanging on right now. And there comes Chip. He is absolutely flying right now. You can see him as he winds down that hill. As these two, Schwartz and Treacle, onto the front straight. Here we go. Is Treacle going to be able to get to Schwartz under braking down here? He's going to go straight to the apex.
It's going to be Treacle to the 3rd spot, that bronze medal position. Chip Herr is coming quick. There he is, just in the back of the frame. Look at this thing pivot through the apex of 4. See if he gets the back end out through 5 and 5B into 6. This is where we saw him flick it last time.
Pounding the curb, just bounding over it, using every ounce of grip that all-wheel drive is going to offer up here. And
with that Mosier, huge slide, big front-wheel drive drift, catches it, but that's going to put Lillard within striking distance. Whoa.
And right now, Chip Herr is, I'm going to wait here because he is really, really close at this stage to Johann Schwartz.
Now here comes Chip Herr on Johann.
All right, wasn't quite close enough. Johann is going to lead into 1 in that 4th spot, but Chip Herr is there. It is inevitable, yeah.
Just a flat slide through the entire apex for Herr. He had just set his personal best lap time, almost 2 laps in a row, but a big, big slide again for that Audi.
Oh, just hear Johann every time. And look at Chip, decisive, locking that right front up. Nonetheless, gets it slowed down enough and is gone. And now his deficit up into Treacle is about 3 seconds, and Chip has been really flogging some laps out there. So,
and with this battle at the top, they've closed in. 3rd and 4th have closed in over 3 seconds towards Mark Lillard and Joe Mosier.
And from that off, he's doing this all with a little bit of damage to that splitter too.
Yeah, yeah. Don't forget, this car was in a tire wall less than what 25 minutes ago.
Exactly.
So you see a little bit of damage. That's all fresh from this race. He's on a mission from the Blues Brothers. He's on a mission from God right now to get to the top of this.
And meanwhile, Chip Herr, as he closes on Darren Treacle, less, just a tick under, 1.5 seconds off. So he was about 3 off in a couple of laps back. So Chip is coming. His last lap was, what, 1.5 seconds? So that's absolutely right. Faster than Darren Treacle. And so that battle is going to be a pretty intriguing one here. Here's Darren, and he is really driving beautifully. Darren is, and he's, got a guy who was an absolute front runner in World Challenge Touring Car a number of years ago. And every once in a while, he would climb behind the wheel of Tom Oates' big, absolute tiger stripe thundering Corvette in GT. There was a front runner in that as well. So Chip, he's for real for sure, and Trickle doing a beautiful job here. But right now, that last lap by Chip, about 9/10 quicker than Darren. But you know, there's the old adage, isn't it? Catching him's one thing, but if Trickle drives really, really good lines, he might be able to defend here. Liller a little bit wide here in that final right-hander coming through the climbing S's. So Mosier a little bit closer than he has been now. Chip Herr, oh! And Liller goes off, and I don't know if there was a little bit of contact or whether Liller just lost it coming in, and Mosier had to go wide to avoid. But huge change here as now Mosier into the lead, Liller off the track. That is going to promote Trickle into second, and Chip Herr, who's got a lot of speed in that Audi, as Trickle tries to defend. And Chip, all-wheel drive, he said, if I got to put a couple in the grass, I'll do it. And he's going to come by now. And so Mosier, Herr, and Trickle, after what had been an absolutely superlative drive by Mark Liller.
Well, another big slide for Herr, and there was a thought in the back of my head about 5 laps ago that there's an alternate reality that Chip Herr can still win this race, and now it's reality. He's right on the lead for Joe Mosier. Jaron Trickle is still putting the pressure on as well. This is incredible.
It's unbelievable, and what it really comes down to now is Herr has to, had to have absolutely, completely abused those tires in this charge. He's got good straight line speed, but Mosier has a car that's a little bit lighter, a little bit more agile, and probably has better tire. And Chip trying to get down underneath. He's got overlap, and he's through. Chip Herr, what a story from second to dead last to the lead here as we start our final lap in the run for the gold in STU. Incredible story here.
I'm almost speechless.
I am.
That is so cool. That car was literally in a tire wall 29.5 minutes ago, and he's back in the lead. I'm looking for damage on the front of Joe Mosier's car, just in the off chance that we missed contact with Liller off camera. I don't see any.
I didn't either.
But I mean, it would have been the smallest kiss. Maybe he went up the inside. I don't want to speculate that they did hit, but there would be a weird place for a front wheel drive car to spin.
Oh! And I think Trickle may have tapped the back of Mosier there.
Absolutely did.
Yeah, and so now Mosier sent sideways. Trickle damage to the front of that car. Mosier is dead stick. And did Liller not be able to get that car turned around and going? Right now, Mosier, now he's finally got it started. So technically, if he gets this going, Mosier would still be second in this absolutely topsy-turvy. Wow, what a race with machinations galore as he gathers it up. Meanwhile, Chip Herr has got to be looking in his mirror, and I'm sure his crew has just said, you got now, believe it or not, a massive lead here. Take it easy. You've got this one. Unbelievable what we're seeing here. And Chip Herr doing what he does in this Audi. He has pulled off some absolutely spectacular stuff in World Challenge over the years. And this one, what a story, out of Hog Pen the final time. And as I said, second to last to the win, and a gold medal with damage at the front of that car, damage at the back for Chip Herr, and earning his first gold medal. What a story as this unfolds here. As Chip Herr makes that slight right-hand bend into pit lane, and I think he is going to be as stunned and overwhelmed as anybody here, including us, with what he just did. Unbelievable drive, Tom.
Unbelievable. And 2 years coming, because he came from the back of the pack last year in a borrowed car, not even prepped for this category in the rain, and again was basically prepared to pass for the lead when the full course came out and ended up ending that race. I don't know if Hayward could catch all of what just happened in that 30-minute time window, but Herr knows, and he is stoked.
Well, I just did some quick math, and over the last 2 years, Chip passed 32 cars then.
Yeah.
And that is, look at Chip. And as you said, Tomo, in the barriers, gets it out, damage to the front, the splitter, damage a little bit to the back. Don't think that affected things much. and then just put the drive of his life in and ends up national champion for the diminutive Rocket. Wow. And watch when he takes his helmet off, because, like I said, I announced him in World Challenge, 15, 20 years ago? He takes his helmet off. He doesn't look a day different. Really annoys me. So he is, the energy down there's got to be unbelievable. Hayward, we're just going to listen in with you. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I've not seen much like it. Chip's pretty much good at everything except for turn 2 on the first lap and taking off his helmet. So just asked, is this for real? It's starting to set in a little bit. We've come out of celebration and in disbelief. A lot of hugs. We're not sure if we're going to get a chance to talk to him, if I'm honest with you.
Well, remind him that by my math, he went by 32 cars in the last 2 years to do this.
So Greg Kramer's telling me in the last 2 years, you've passed 32 cars in the STU race.
Yeah, I've only run like 14 laps total until today. Oh, my God.
What did you feel? What were you thinking when you got into that tire wall? Did you think you were done?
I did, but I picked a Hoosier R7s. I knew this was going to be hot. I knew the car was going to be a little sketchy to start. I got a great inside line. I could put the power down, but I was sliding. My mistake, I don't think anybody hit me. I just didn't have the bite out of the corner, and it's on me. I had nothing to lose. I've said this before. I put my head down and literally just kept clocking laps and just saying, what's my gap? So
Two laps to go. You're coming up the hill S's. You can see Moser. You can see them, and you see them go off into Oak Tree. What did you think?
Game on, baby. Oh, my God. I didn't know what color it was going to be. But, oh, my gosh. The Carbotech brakes were literally perfect with the way I was pounding on them. I freaking hit a tire wall in the car. It's a tank. It's the same car I won my first touring car race in Mid-Ohio. So special to me, and I hope my daughters one day can drive these cars. And oh my God, I'm just like, I'm that guy. I'm Jared Odrick. I'm Danny Riches and my boys and Rich Ronan. God, they were all in my ear. I even got the VK underwear on for. Oh my gosh. Oh, we did it. We did it.
I'm just gonna let him talk. This is too good.
I'm good. I'm taking too much time. Oh my God.